Hey, welcome back to the channel. We have a garage gym review today, except I misspoke. It's not a garage gym. It's actually a bedroom gym. It's this gym right here in the master suite of a house, the master bedroom suite. If that's interesting to you, stick around. Okay, so this gym is usable gym space. The room that this is in is actually a pretty big master bedroom, but on the other side of this wall are where my sinks are, where the toilet, the shower, all that stuff is. So big, huge closet. So it's kind of cut in half nicely for this really nice vaulted room, which can withstand a big tall power rack. I could do a much bigger taller power rack if I wanted to in this gym. It's usable space. It's about 14 feet by 13 feet, which is, I wrote this down, I'm not a math major, I was an English teacher, about 182 square feet, usable feet. So if that's something, if you're thinking, for those of you watching, do I have enough room to make a really nice home gym? I mean, I use 182 square feet, and I have everything I've ever needed to get really, really strong, which is relative. But I think I'm, from where I started to where I am now, because of this gym, to get pretty darn strong and compete in powerlifting. And I've done it all on my own, which is kind of cool to me. In this actual bedroom gym. So, what do I have in here? I've done a review before. There's a lot that's changed. It's been a number of years. But the centerpiece of my gym is obviously my power rack. It's a 4-post rack. It's a Rogue Monster Light RML3. The neat thing about this rack is the cross members are actually welded, so they're not bolt together. And so this thing is even extra sturdy. It's like a little tank. Alan Thrall, I've talked about him before. Maybe you follow him. Great guy. He owns a powerlifting / strongman gym, great gym, called Untamed Strength here in Sacramento. And he has this exact rack in his gym. And he talks about why he likes it, because it's extra sturdy, because of the welds, because the cross members are welded. And it's also small, so you can fit a lot of these in a commercial space. I've been to a number of meets that I've competed in that have this exact rack, and it's because of that. It's a small footprint. The thing's gonna last forever. It's like a little tank. It's a piece of, what is Ripito calls it, a piece of geology.
Primarily, the thing is just sturdy as hell. This is a piece of geology. It lasts forever. It cannot be destroyed. You buy it one time.
But he's talking about his starting strength racks, which I hate. But anyway, this thing is a piece of geology. It's going to be around for a long time. Doesn't have numbers to the rack and some of those fancy things. It's a Monster Light, so it's 5/8 inch hardware, not 1 inch. But I've really not regretted my choice on this rack at all, because the thing is
Piece of geology.
a couple things that have really made this rack for me more usable. Number one, I got the Rogue Slinger. When I got the Slinger, this rack didn't actually have holes cut on the cross members. I don't think the Slinger was an idea at the time they made this rack. The newer racks obviously have the holes. So I actually had to drill my own hole, which is fine. I did make a mistake, and so I have 2 holes. Maybe I'll show some B-roll. And I just put a little cover in one of the holes. But the other thing that has made this a game changer for me is Buffalo Bully, the glider. And I'll link that in the description. I do have a review on that. But before, I was using a top-loaded weight pen, which works okay, but the thing sways. And when you start going really heavy, especially doing like cable rows, the thing is swaying and you almost have to land it on the pin. It's not ideal. This takes that away. So the bully glider actually turns your rack into a guide rod, your post here into a guide rod, and man, it's awesome. So I can do everything I need. I have the Rogue seat. I'll show some pictures of that. So I can do lat pull downs. I got the Rogue foot plate, super heavy duty. So I can do cable rows and then everything in between. From tricep work, tricep push downs to really anything I need to do, cable crunches, especially training as a power lifter. It's everything I could ever want. Now, ideally, yes, if in Jack's perfect world, I'd have a gigantic shop and I would have a separate lat pull down machine and low row machine, and I would also have a separate functional trainer, and I would have machines and all sorts of stuff. I don't have that. I only have 14 by 13. I always forget the square inches, 182 square feet. So I don't have room for any of that. So I got to pretty much utilize this rack for just about everything. In fact, I even had a reverse hyper for a while, but I just don't have room because there's a bed, and I'll show you that a bed is in this 182 square feet. I'll show you how that works. I deadlift in this 182 square feet. So really I have to utilize any kind of cable type movements on the rack, and boy, has that been a game changer for me. The other things that I really like are my Rogue adjustable monoliths. These are the version 2s. I did a review between a comparison, the version 1 and 2s. The version 2s are better. If you have the ones, I don't know if they're so much better that you'd want to go and get the 2s. But I really like these, especially because I lift alone. They really make it easy for when you're doing heavy squats. You don't have to worry about the walkout. Of course, I compete, so I also have to practice the walkout. But anyway, for bench too, it's really great because you don't need to lift off and it's just right over you. I just really like these. In fact, I forget how much I like these until I go back to using regular J cups. The only thing I wish, and I know that one company, and it escapes me, but I wish these had a roller in the J cup part so that you could move them. Is it Bridge Built that has it? I don't know. Somebody has that, but it's super expensive, which is why I haven't went that route. So anyway, this is great. This is my rack. What next? Okay, so let's look at my bars. I do have my Darko barbell anchor, which is great for space saving. I have my Titan safety squat bar and my Rogue Ollie bar. So that's on my rack with the Darko barbell anchor. Shout out to him. What else do I have? I have my Reps Direct football bar. This is made in Vegas, so American made. Does have sleeves that move. There's no bushings or anything. I think it's just metal on metal, but it is a nice touch. I really like this bar because of the figure eight. Makes movements like skull crushers and that kind of stuff, shoulder presses. With the figure eight, it's the only way to go. I love this bar. It's really well made. What else do I have? I have the Rogue Cambered Bar 4, 38 millimeter. This thing is such a big bar, but it's really fun to squat with. It's also well balanced, really fun to bench with. The knurl is very aggressive. I have my Hansu power bar, super small sleeves. I've talked about most of these before on reviews. This is in zinc. It's a copper color. They call it red. It's definitely not red. I have one of my newest bars is the Chewy bar, American Barbell Chewy bar. I just did a review on that. Stainless steel. This thing is sweet. Love this bar. Really, really well made. One of the classics. This is stainless steel Rogue Ohio bar. One of the first bars I got. Love this bar. I have this bar here is a Bare Steel Kabuki organ power bar. 28.5 millimeter instead of 29. It's Bare Steel. I also have the Oregon or the Columbia bar. Very similar. That's the Kabuki Columbia bar. This is also Bare Steel, and it's 28.5 millimeter. So then I have the multi-use bar. This is the Fringe Sport Midas Revenge bar. Love that bar. Again, I believe that's black zinc. And then this big beast in the back, which is the tallest bar that I have. If you can see with the camera angle, I don't know if it goes up that high, but this thing is a monster. I mean, this thing is a monster. This is the Texas bench bar. Okay. So my other bars. This is my Bare Steel Rogue deadlift bar. Great bar. Super nice knurl. The Bare Steel's held up really nice. I do take care of it. This gym is climate controlled, AC, the whole works, so that helps. So here is my Rogue Ohio Power Bar. Cerakote red. It does have the new proprietary matte black sleeves. When I bought it initially, it didn't have those sleeves, but there was a small defect. And Rogue's customer service is awesome, so they sent me these sleeves for free. So that's great. The Kabuki squat bar. 55 pounds. Really nice knurl. It's fully knurled. Does have the middle ring, which I love. And then the Kabuki 250K power bar. This is an electroless nickel. This is probably my daily driver, this and the Chewy bar. Really, really nice bar. Great bar to squat with. And then I have a curl bar. I rarely use. It's just a X-Mark chisel. Won't talk about that a lot. The reason I don't use it a lot is because my football bar pretty much does everything I would do with the curl bar, and it does it better. So those are all my bars. I have 5, 10, 15. How many do I have? 5, 10, 15, 16. I have 18 bars. My goodness. I also have, let's move the camera. This is just on the fly, boys. This is all me. This is a one-man operation. You can see right there, this little guy. I like it a lot. I have a review on this, but this is the Reps open trap bar. It's got the removable handles. It's also got knurling on the top, so you can squat with it as a camber bar. You can do great things with this bar. In fact, pin lay rows. I didn't even think about using this bar for pin lay rows. And I saw somebody talking about it on Instagram, and I used it the other day. I don't know why, but this works beautifully for pin lay rows or any kind of rows. Great to squat with, and obviously as a trap bar, it's really well balanced. The knurling, Rep really knocked it out of the park with this bar. So 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 bars I have. That's too many in the small square footage of space that I have, and I want more. So I think I have issues.
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, let's look at other stuff here. In terms of storage, let's turn this around. I try to keep things off the floor. And you'll notice here I have a Rogue barbell hanger. And I keep bands. I keep belt-fed strength, leather strap, which is really, really nice. I have a bag. I have some Spud Ink straps to do some ab work. Spud Ink always makes really nice stuff. Some just general knickknacks. I have a couple different belts. I have an Enzer Forever belt, 13 millimeters. I have a belt-fed strength custom belt, 13 millimeters, which is absolutely gorgeous. Man, they do such nice work. And they're so easy to work with. So I highly recommend them. And then I just have some nylon belts that I use that are a little more comfortable if I'm doing something that I need a little more movement. I do have the old Rogue dip attachment. Works fine. I do want like either the Mutant Metals one or the new Rogue one, but want and need are two different things. Then if you look down, let me remove my belt. Like I said, this is a one-man operation. I have right there is the Rogue landmine row handle. That is the Pronate Mag Grip, the super long one. The thing is very long. And then the stainless steel Rogue lat pull down bar. It's nice lat bars you're going to find. Stainless steel. I do have some wall controls. There's my probably one of my all-time favorite attachments ever is the medium mag Pronate. Right there for lat pull downs, it's great. For rows, it's great. You can turn it over and hit biceps on pull downs. Works great. I got the little mag. That works good too. I don't use that as much. I have some other little attachments. The Rogue V. You know, some smelling salts, that kind of stuff. You come up, I have another Rogue hanger with some elbow straps, some wraps for when I wrap. There's a rope, there's the shake strap. For those of you that haven't used the shake strap, that's a great, that thing really gives you a different pump. So just some of my change plates, that kind of stuff. I do have this little nook back here. I have tons of hats if you haven't noticed, but if you take off the hats, toss those aside here, you'll notice I have the Rogue loadable dumbbells. Those are the DB15s. I have tons of wrist wraps. Another wall control, which houses a lot of my shoes. I like to keep things off the floor. So I can do a Viking press attachment for the landmine. Just a variety of things. Some oil. Try to take care of my bars. And then if we move, there's some of my medals that I've been fortunate to win in powerlifting. Let's get the light here so you can see better. And I got another wall control with just a variety of knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, headbands. I have this box which has chains. Let's see if I can. So if I want to use chains, I have the Titan adjustable dumbbell or kettlebell. It works okay. It's for what I need and for space saving, it works well. And then I have another Rogue. Another Rogue holder here with a couple slingshots. I have a tomahawk. Everybody should have a tomahawk in their gym. I don't know why I have a tomahawk, but the thing's sweet. The Spud Inc. long strap. Some custom plates that go on the loadable dumbbells. So it just keeps things again off the floor. I got some chalk, various things, and then how I keep my plates. So I used to keep plates on my rack, but so I keep my 25s, my 10s, my 15s on these two weight horns. And these weight horns are just put right into a stud. And the reason I bought these weight horns versus something nicer, these are just little cheap Amazon ones, and I'll put them in the description. But the only reason I chose these is for the length. Because the Rogue ones came out further, and I don't have a lot of room to be walking back and through here. And when I got a bar loaded up and say I'm benching or squatting, I have to have some room to get back here to get my 45s or my 55s to put on the bar. And so I didn't want these to stick out very far. And you'll notice my 10s, my 5s, my 2.5s right there on this side. And I also have those right there. And then I keep my bigger plates actually on the back of my rack. So I have a couple 45s, couple 35s, and a 55. really at this point all the weight that I need. All right, so what you're looking at here is actually a Murphy bed. So I told you this is a bedroom. Well, that's a Murphy bed. So that pulls down into an actual bed. All you do, and I'll show footage of it or I'll show B-roll, you just pull this down. There's handles here. Easy cheesy. It's a full bed. Houses the same mattress I've always used in my other bed, so it's comfortable. I do keep some things on top of it, so I can do box squats. You can see the Titan box, and then there's just a custom-made one. Rogue pulley, Elite FTS pad, so I can do 3-board bench or whatever, board press. Just some other knickknacks. So on the side of the bed here, I keep some, I don't know, deadlift slippers. There's a back scratcher, a little neck contraption, more wraps, spud ink strap, figure 8 strap. So again, I just try to keep things the best I can off the ground. And then my deadlift platform. Actually had a young man during the pandemic make this for me in Vacaville, California. It's got the pegs so you can attach bands and that kind of stuff. Works really, really well. Flooring. So I wish I did flooring a little bit different. I think most of you know for flooring you want to use horse stall mats. They did not have horse stall mats anywhere when I was getting ready to do my gym. It was sold out. So I bought some 1/2-inch plywood and put it down. And then I bought this floor top, which is like a hard rubber at Home Depot. Again, if I could do it again, horse stall mats I would go with. But this hard rubber works fine. I've squatted really heavy on this. See if I can get a better angle. But it's hard to keep clean. And again, I just think horse stall mats would be a better way to go. Additionally, you can see I still have carpet in here. If I would have known what I know now for my gym, I would have pulled all the carpet out and had flooring custom done. But I didn't know this was going to be like a permanent thing. So you get an idea of the gym as I just show kind of the 360. The big mirror I bought on Amazon. You can see me waving. I like to have a mirror. Some people don't. I'll post that mirror in the description. Thing's massive. And again, everything I need, especially for powerlifting, in a very confined 14 by 13 space. So if you're looking at doing a gym in a small space and you don't have a ton of room, this is about 182 square feet. The nice thing is the nice vaulted ceilings, so I don't have to worry about height. I'm a bike guy. You could see I put a chopper up there. I do have some lights, as you can tell, just for ambiance. A couple speakers for music, the big Alexa speaker, and then I have a smaller one, and those go together. Some folks have asked in the past about ventilation. You'll notice I bought a little fan up here, comfort zone fan, oscillates. It's not a heavy duty fan, but I don't really need a heavy duty fan because what I do is I open this window, goes right out to my pool, which is kind of fun, and it gets air flowing through to these French doors, and I can open the French doors, there's a screen, and then get that fan blowing along with another fan, and really works well to keep the gym really aerated, keeps it cool or hot or whatever I want to do. Everything is climate controlled, and so really just a lot of fresh air So that has seemed to work really, really well. If you're worried about, in terms of AC or whatever, getting it cool, you know, this little fan's not going to do much. But it does move the air. It does work how I need it, how I intend it to work. All right, so the bench I have is the Rep AB 3000 version 2. It's an FID bench, which means flat, incline, and decline. Works well. I like it. I think for the price, hard to beat, grippy cover. It's held up well. I also did a custom seat cover, bench cover from Stray Dog Strength. Came out really, really nice. Matches my color scheme. I do wish it stood up. This isn't designed to stand up, so I don't stand it up. That's one aspect of the bench I don't like, but overall it works well, and glad I bought it. That's really it, man. That's my gym. I don't know. What do you think? What am I missing? What did I do wrong? You know, I kind of created this thing super ignorantly, just because I didn't know. And I think it turned out pretty good. I would do some things definitely different. I'm definitely jealous of other people's gyms that have more space. But like I said, for just me, for training powerlifting, I like it. What do you think? All right, like and subscribe. Hope you liked to check out my gym. If you didn't, thanks for coming by anyway. Till next time, adios.